Talk about the growth of internet. There are so many countries that are more than ready to jump into 4.0 era. In this infographic, I would like to present you some data about some countries' readiness in entering Industry 4.0, artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things era. The first graphic will be about some countries that use robots in their manufacturing sector. So let's check the graphic. We got South Korea, Singapore, Germany, Japan, and Denmark. First of all, we can take a look at South Korea. As many as 710 units, they use robot as workers. And then for the second place, we got Singapore with 658 robot as workers in the units, of course. And then Germany for the Europe. We got 322 units robot as a worker. And next, Japan, no wonder. It's a 302 units robot that are used as a worker. And then the last one, the largest of the fifth one is Denmark with a 330 units robot as a worker. And the worldwide industrial robotics market reached a record of $16.5 billion in the sales in 2018. And according to the International Federations of Robotics, or IFR, World Robotics Reports. And the IFR said that 422,000 industrial robots were shipped around the world in 2018, a 6% increase from 2017's previous record of 381 industrial robots. But however, the International Federations of Robotics, IFR, said it expects shipments to decline in 2019 before the bouncing back with a 12% growth per year between 2020 to 2022. And the next question is, what are the list of jobs that will be replaced by the artificial intelligence or robot in the future? So let's check the data. We can see the job that will be replaced by robot and artificial intelligence. So as we can see through the data from the McKinsey company, around 79% of the respondents say that predicted jobs such as manufacturer labor will be replaced by the robotic era. And then the second one is the data processing. As many as 69% of the respondents say that data processing will be replaced by a robot, that human will no longer do the data processing. Maybe it's because the exactment and maybe robot will have more precisely. And it turns into the data collections as well. By 64% of the respondents say that data collections no longer use human, but also for the robotics. And then the fourth one is unpredicted jobs like constructions and forestry. As many as 25% of the respondents say that these kind of unpredictable jobs would be done by robot easier. And then the last one is the interactions with the stakeholders. As many as 20% of respondents say that. And up to 20 million manufacturing jobs around the world could be replaced by robots by 2030, and according to analyst firm Oxford Economics. And people displaced from those kind of jobs are likely to find that comparable roles and the services actors have also been squeezed by the automations. But however, increasing automations will also boost jobs and economic growth. Oxford Economics called for an actions to prevent a damaging increase in income quality. Each new industrial robotic wipes out 1.6 manufacturing jobs, with the least skilled region more being affected. And related to technology, here's the list of high-tech products that are being considered important by business players in their business development. Let's check. Here we got the importance of technology for business around the world. We can see the first place is placed by Internet of Things. By 71% of respondents of PricewaterhouseCoopers say that Internet of Things is really important for the business around the world. And the second one is that we can see artificial intelligence. As many as 63% say that artificial intelligence is really important in the business around the world. And then the third one is robotics. Robotics is really important according to 47% of the respondent. And then the fourth one is blockchains. We can see blockchains in the cryptocurrency and whatsoever in that. And 29% of the respondents say that blockchain is really important for the business. And then moving on to 3D printing and augmented reality, drones, that we can see drones everywhere right now, and then virtual reality of 16% say that it's really important for the world nowadays. And rather than serving as a replacement for human intelligence and ingenuity, artificial intelligence is generally seen as a supporting tool. Although artificial intelligence currently has a difficult time completing the common sense task in the real world, it is adept at processing and analyzing troves of data far more quickly than human brain could. And artificial intelligence software can then return to synthesize the courses of actions and present them into the human users. And in this way, humans can use artificial intelligence to help to game out possible consequences of each actions and streamline the decisions-making process. How wonderful. And facing this robotic and artificial intelligence era, there's something important that humans should have. That is having an ideal level of soft skills. Why soft skills is important? That's the questions, but here's why. Here's the reason of why soft skills is important in artificial intelligence era. So we can see unique capability of human skills is as a leading of the respondents. As many as 47% of respondents say that is really important. And the third and the second positions is a high level thinking as a main point, because probably we as human invented the artificial intelligence, so actually the high level thinking is a really human's main point. And then the third one is soft skill will make adaptations process easier. And of course, soft skills refers to interpersonal characteristic that enable a person to interact effectively for others. For many workers, these skills will be increasingly important for employment and career advancement in the age of AI disruptions. These skills, which include communications, listening, and empathy, differ greatly for hard skills, which acquire tough educations and on-the-job training. But how about Indonesia's readiness in jumping into 4.0 era? So let's check the next graphic. So we can see, is Indonesia really ready for facing a 4.0 era? Through the index, we can see in here about Indonesia's readiness in facing 4.0 era. Through the products and services, Indonesia hit the point of 2.41, which is through the product and services. Indonesia is kind of ready for facing the 4.0 era. And considering the people and culture, Indonesia is quite ready by the point of 2.16%, and then the third one that could be the considerable as Indonesia's readiness in facing 4.0 era is the management and organizations that Indonesia has actually. And the fourth one is factory operational, and the last one is the technology. And the Indonesia Industry 4.0 Readiness Index, or INDI 4.0, assess Indonesia's level in the industry readiness in implementing Industry 4.0 technologies. And according to the head of Industrial Research and Development Agency of the Ministry, INDI 4.0 will be the benchmark index used by the government and the industry in measuring the country's level of readiness towards Industry 4.0. 5 pillars are being measured in this index. These are management and organizations, people and culture, products and services, technology, and factory or plant operations. The higher the index, the sector most likely ready to enter the 4.0. And that's it for the today's infographic. Stay tuned because we will be right back.